I ran my first marathon in 1985, the Philadelphia Marathon. I was 18 years old. I didn't know what I was doing. I completely crashed and burned at mile 20, hit the wall, and crawled in the next 6 miles. I learned a lot from that. And after 1985, I started learning and studying more about marathons and training with groups. And so since 1985, I've run 45 full marathons. And then I've also done a lot of triathlons and 1 full Ironman triathlon. The pain started 3 years ago, and I put a knee brace on, and then the pain just got worse and worse. And I kept thinking, oh, it's going to get better, right? It's just a little nagging injury. Got worse and worse and worse. And then I started seeing doctors, and that's when they would say, well, let's just do the shots, the gel shots. Let's do physical therapy. But that wasn't the answer. And the pain got worse and worse and worse until I was in North Carolina on vacation, and my knee went out and I was down and I couldn't walk. And so I started going to other doctors around the country, doing research and finding doctors that would see athletes. And I found Dr. Berger over and over in my research. And so I thought I'll give him a try. And we went to Chicago and met with him. From the moment I walked into his office, his whole staff was so warm and caring. And I wasn't just a number. I wasn't just a knee. I was a person. I was an athlete. I was a human being that wanted a good quality of life. And he looked at my x-rays. He looked at my MRI. He talked to me and he said, I can do a partial knee replacement and you'll be back to running. Running is my quality of life. It's my community. It just helps me be the best that I can be.
Dr. Berger and I see eye to eye on this. I tell our clients that it should be your decision if you don't want to run, not your knee's decision. You had this surgery so that you can get back to doing all the things you want to do. And it's our job to help you do that, not tell you not to.
About 3 months after my surgery, I ran my first 5K. I've been racing regularly. I've completed many half marathons and 2 full marathons. My latest accomplishment, I went to Richmond Marathon with the hopes and the drive and determination to qualify for Boston, and I did it. I qualified for Boston. "40 years ago, my grandfather died by suicide. And in a time when nobody talked about suicides, it was not a topic of conversation. My family changed the death certificate to heart attack rather than suicide, and no one ever talked about it again. March 9th, 2022, I walked into my dad's suicide. Part of my emotional recovery has been running and connecting with my community, which are runners. And we created a 501c3 foundation called Poppy's Run for Life.
Caryn referred to her grandfather as Poppy, and then her father, he was also known as Poppy to his grandchildren. When we decided to start this charity, we decided, can't think of a better name for this charity than to use their names that they went by.
And we promote suicide prevention and awareness and education. And we are changing the conversation about suicide.
Running is such a big part of Caryn's identity, and going through such a challenging time that ultimately led her to start Poppy's Run for Life. Her physically being able to run that race is such a huge part of helping her through that grieving process. And that's something we've been happy to help her get back to being able to do physically, but also support her in that journey and raising awareness for suicide prevention.
With Boston Marathon coming up in 2025, every mile I'm going to think about somebody who has died by suicide. I'm collecting my names And so I'll write them on my arm. And so every mile will be dedicated to someone who has died by suicide. I took my tragedies and my passion and combined them to keep my grandfather and my father's memories alive, and then to help others who are struggling. I want Poppy's Run for Life to be in every major city in America. I want Poppy's to be a household name. Poppy's Run means the world to me.